Have you ever stopped to wonder, where did the weekend even come from? I mean, why do we all just agree to stop working for a couple of days? It feels pretty modern, right? But the truth is, it all goes back thousands of years to this single, really radical idea. Remember the Sabbath. So let's dive into the story of how this ancient law about rest basically created the weekend as we know it. Now, to really get how powerful this idea is, we're not going to start in the ancient world. We're going to start at the 1924 Olympics with a man who had to make a completely impossible choice. So, meet Eric Liddell. He was a Scottish sprinter, and you might know his story from the movie Chariots of Fire. Liddell was a seriously devout Christian, and his absolute best event, the 100-meter dash, was scheduled for a Sunday. But for him, Sunday was the Sabbath, a day for rest and worship. So, he just bowed out. Can you imagine? He gave up his best shot at an Olympic gold medal. Instead of his main event, Liddell decided to run in the 400-meter race, which, well, he was not expected to win at all. But right before the race, someone hands him this little slip of paper with this Bible verse on it. And what happens next? Liddell runs the race of his life and, completely against the odds, wins the gold. It's a pretty staggering question, isn't it? I mean, just think about that. This wasn't just some private belief. It was a public statement that some things are more important than your biggest ambition, more important than success, more important than a literal, once-in-a-lifetime chance. It really makes you ask, what is this Sabbath, and why would it inspire that level of conviction? To figure that out, we've got to go way back. So where did this powerful, world-changing idea of a mandatory day off actually come from? Well, it's a lot older and, honestly, a lot simpler than you might think. That's it. At its absolute core, that's all it is. Shabbat. To stop. It's not really about a long list of rules. It's about the very deliberate act of ceasing. Ceasing from your work, from trying to get ahead, from producing. In our world that is constantly going 24/7, the simple idea of just stopping is, well, it's incredibly countercultural. What's fascinating is that the Bible gives two different reasons for this command to stop. The first one, from Exodus, is huge. It's cosmic. It says we rest because God rested after creating the universe. So we're invited to tap into the basic rhythm of creation itself. But the second reason, from Deuteronomy, is all about ethics. It tells the Israelites, hey, remember you were slaves in Egypt? You know what it feels like to be worked to the bone with no break. Because of that, you must give rest to everyone, your servants, your animals, even the immigrant living with you. It's a command that comes from a place of empathy and social justice. And you have to understand, this was completely unheard of in the ancient world, totally unique. I mean, sure, other cultures had their own customs, but a required weekly day of rest for everybody, from the king all the way down to the lowest servant and even the farm animals, nobody else was doing that. It was a radical sign that set them apart. A statement that their society cared more about rest and compassion than just constant productivity. But, an idea this radical doesn't just sail through history without a little bit of conflict. Over time, the question of what it really means to stop actually became a matter of life and death. The stakes just got higher and higher as time went on. Early on, you see this story of a man being executed for something that seems pretty minor to us, gathering sticks. But why? Well, the community was terrified that if one person broke the rule, soon everyone would be pressured to work, and this precious gift of rest would be lost for good. Then, centuries later, you have a group of rebels who literally let themselves be slaughtered rather than pick up a weapon on the Sabbath. And then, Jesus arrives on the scene and intentionally starts a crisis by healing people, forcing a showdown over what the law was even for. And this was the flashpoint. The religious leaders saw Jesus' disciples just plucking some grain to eat as they walked, and they accused them of working. They had built up all these complex rules around the simple command to stop, and in their eyes, Jesus was breaking them. And this whole situation set the stage for one of the most game-changing statements in history. Right here, Jesus cuts to the heart of it all. He basically says the whole point has been missed. The Sabbath isn't some heavy burden you have to serve. It's a gift you get to enjoy. A gift for rest, for healing, for people to flourish. He completely reframed it, taking it from a rigid rule back to its original purpose, a gift for humanity. And this powerful reframing, it eventually led to a major shift, one that has a direct impact on how we live our lives today. So how did this day of rest move from Saturday to the Sunday that most of us are more familiar with? Well, at first, it wasn't some big theological debate. Honestly, it was just practical. A lot of the early Christians were actually slaves in the Roman Empire. They couldn't take off on Saturday, the Jewish Sabbath, because they had to work. But Sunday? Sunday was often a public holiday for pagan festivals, so they adapted. They started gathering to worship on the day they could actually rest. It was a perfect example of keeping the spirit of the Sabbath, even if the actual day had to change. And then came the real watershed moment. The year is 313 AD. The Roman Emperor Constantine, who had converted to Christianity, made Sunday an official day of rest across the entire empire. In a single move, he basically cemented the 7-day week right into the foundation of Western civilization. That radical idea from a small tribe in the Middle East, it had just gone global. So this brings us all the way back to today. What does this ancient practice of ceasing or stopping have to say to us, you and me, living in a world that feels like it never, ever stops? The benefits are just as relevant now as they were 3,000 years ago, maybe even more so. You've got an environmental benefit, this principle that the earth itself and its creatures need a break. There's a huge ethical benefit, protecting people from burnout and exploitation in a work culture that just doesn't quit. And of course, there's a spiritual benefit, creating that intentional space to connect with ourselves, our families, and whatever it is that matters most to us. There's this incredible story from a writer named Letty Cowman. A group of travelers had hired some local tribesmen as guides in Africa. After a really grueling, fast-paced first day of marching, the guides just sat down the next morning and refused to move. When the travelers asked them why, their answer was just profound. They said they had moved too fast the day before. They needed to stop and let their souls catch up with their bodies.
And really, that's the question the Sabbath leaves us with, isn't it? In our own lives, with the constant buzzing and rushing and notifications, have our bodies just outrun our souls? Maybe this ancient command to simply stop isn't some outdated rule at all. Maybe it's the exact wisdom we need to find our balance again.